The government shutdown, the longest federal government shutdown in history. Here's what I know. Whether the government is open, regardless of who's president, if you are interested in going after contracts, they are available. There are some departments that are hard to get a hold of or may not have people available, like, of course, travel. This is really a lesson in patience. So when it comes to where we are, what about if you submitted invoices? Well, one thing that's really important is client relations. You should have the cell phone number of the people who are involved. Everyone who's involved should have already been aware of your invoices. So if you're in a situation where none of that happened, then you're going to have to wait. So these are learning taxes is what we're dealing with. Whenever you win a contract, whether it's state, local, federal, you want to discuss who's involved with payment. On the document, it says I upload it to IPP. I email it. I just want to confirm that. Also, who else is involved? Who else do I need to send an invoice to? And this is very common. I mean, we had an agency that didn't pay us for over 3 months and they owed us 6 figures. So with all of that said, this is a time to practice patience. Patience. And then the next time, just be aware and have these kind of discussions. There are thousands of opportunities right now. And there are also thousands of reasons to say and to choose not to do this. If you need a little extra boost, winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com. I have over 800 videos. So very soon the government will reopen. But all involved understand that this is a big political game and midterm elections are going to set a precedent. So that's a year from the date of this recording. So when the midterm elections happen, that's really going to impact how things kind of run with government contracting. So until then, this is a great time to go after sources sought. This is a great time to finalize your capability statement. This is an amazing opportunity to learn and apply. Start going on Sam.Gov, look at opportunities, invest in yourself if that's what you want to. Look to see what are different state and local opportunities. That's what this is. It is a time to embrace the forced pause. Because some of you really don't want a contract. You think this is the answer. And it's not. I'm not going to BS you and say the answer to every single one of your desires in life is government contracting. I'm not going to do that. Is it a beautiful option? Of course. Do you have to have experience? No. Do you have to have a website? No. Do you have to be registered or live in the United States? You do not. But it does not mean it is for everyone. This is a space for somebody who is coachable, people who want to apply what they're learning, people who are after a win. That's what this is about. So when we have a shutdown, what typically will happen is then it's up, see, and then it's used to fuel excuses. We're here to elevate and to fuel our goals and our desires. And if government contracting is not that, you can subcontract. You can work for a government contractor. You can apply to work for the federal government or a state or local organization. This is not like a one and done. This is a political tool. So be prepared. This could happen again very soon. It says some agencies are funded until January. There's supposed to be a vote in December. So this could happen again. All of you, there's no reason you can't win a $100,000 contract between now and the end of the year. There's no reason you can't at all. Can you win $1 million out of the gate? Yes, I've interviewed people time and time again. It's about what are your goals and dreams? What are your desires? How do I know this? Well, the government is buying a lot of snow removal, lawn maintenance, HVAC, there's no shortage of contracts. So here's some ways forward, right? As this comes to an end. That is, you want to go after agencies that are not political. I would be very cautious around Department of Health and Human Services. I would be very cautious about aviation because the focus is going to be on air traffic control, TSA, pilots, DI, all of that. So the last thing you want to do is get intertwined in that. It's best to go after agencies like USDA, FDA, Department of Defense, weird agencies, Department of Interior. Those are the type of places you want to go. And make sure you go after opportunities that are not politically charged. That is so key. So what's going to happen when you get your first win? When you get that message that says, Natasha, you won. Robin, you won. Okay, you're going to celebrate. Are you in a position to fund the opportunity? Are these discussions that you are aware that should be had on the onset? I'm not poking anybody in the eye or anything like that, y'all. I just really want to have these kind of conversations because every month I don't really know what to do. I need money for this. Is it going to be bad if I give it back? Oh, this was a bad contract. Like there's all these things in this energy and I want us to be elevated. What's key is you have to also have a plan for when you win. You have to have a kickoff call, meet with them, talk to your vendors. These are things to take in consideration so that they want to do more work with you. So when you have a kickoff call, it's always ideal. First off, I wouldn't have my vendor on it unless you have a really good relationship with them. So you want to have an agenda. You're to clarify roles and responsibilities, share information. Hey, do you need to reach me? Here's my number. Boom. And then what you also want to do is go through, here's a requirement. I am to deliver porta potties. I am to change out the HVAC. I am to staff this person. Is this still what you need? By these dates, who should I contact? You want to go through all of that and then decide your communication cadence, cover invoicing. And then you also want to touch base with if you're contracting it out, you want to have a conversation with your subcontractor. That's pretty much it. Reaching out to contracting officers in this political climate, I wouldn't do. Small business reps, yes, but it's better just to go on Sam.Gov and bid. Unless there's a goal behind it. Like if the goal is, I just want them to get to know me, I would still say small business rep because the contracting officer is just executing orders. When everybody comes back from the shutdown, they're going to be busy. The last thing they want is, they ain't got time for that. They have things that they have to do. There's contracts they need to execute, invoices that they need to approve. So let's talk a little bit about networking. When it comes to industry days, networking events. So industry days could vary. At the federal level, sometimes the intent is for you to talk to them about a particular opportunity, and they may limit it to the type of questions. Sometimes industry days are kind of like site visits, but a little different, where the buyers might be there, industry is there, and there's supposed to be a dialogue. Sometimes industry days are more of, hey, learn about our organization. Here's what we may be buying, may not be buying, and we get to learn about you. I know that there's one in California. They used to hold them in Orlando. I'm not sure if they're still really doing that because at the same time, this administration is saying, we need to review, we're using Doge. So they're not exactly advertising everything. They're not using forecasts like they did in the past. So when it comes to an industry day, it goes back to what are your goals? I'll talk more about this on my second channel. I use green stickies and I put my goals on my green stickies and I post it up. What's your point of going? What's the reason to go? If you want to win a contract, go to Sam.Gov and you bid. Sometimes these networking events and these industry days, it makes us feel good. It's like getting a gym membership. Ooh, I got a gym membership. Okay, most of the people who have gym memberships don't go. So you go to the industry day and it feels really good, and then what? Unless the goal is, I'm going to the industry day, like one of my success coaches goes to events to find potential subs. That's why they go. But they go to all different type of events, and most of the events are not connected to the government because your subs aren't going to be at government events necessarily. The fastest way to win a government contract is to get through your mind, to get out of your head. When you believe and know you're supposed to win, then you will. When it's, oh, I need to call somebody, I need to attend this event, I need to do, and I need, okay, well then maybe when we have our first robot president, you'll get a contract. This is just to bring levity in a weird way, but also so you know what is holding you back. Fear, this is business. We're not just hanging out like talking about PTA. So if you want to win a contract, business legally registered, cage code, physical address, and you start bidding. It's really as simple as that. It's just all based on how fast you want to get to your goal. And based on what they've reported, the vote would pave the way for consideration later this week of a legislation package that would fund, get ready, Department of Agriculture, FDA, Department of Veterans Affairs, and military construction projects and the operation of Congress for the full fiscal year. So if that comes to pass, then where should you focus? On the agencies who are funded. That's where you want to focus. USDA, FDA, Department of Veterans Affairs, military. And that's what I said. I've talked about this time and time again. Don't go after the things that are controversial. It doesn't matter if that's your wheelhouse or you love doing it. Either put it aside, don't do it, do something else, or be a little different. What's important is you are able to execute the opportunity. That's what's key. So what are you all interested in bidding on? I know we have porta potties, lawn maintenance, office rental, and real estate. I would go after USDA and I would go after agencies other than GSA to see what kind of office space they need, and I would look into reselling hotel rooms. When it comes to paper shredding, you're going to have to go really low or do a man in a truck and you got a shredder in there yourself, because you're going to be competing against companies, and when you get a price quote, they're going to triple it and you're going to lose every time. So for cleaning contracts, you're going to end up outsourcing. So let's say the cleaning contract is here in Florida. You would win it. You would end up bidding at a rate to give you the profit that you want, but you wouldn't do the work. You would 1099, not always, depending on the contract, you would 1099 or have part-time people doing the work. So you have to be okay with you're not doing the work. You're not making the burger, putting the fries in the thing and dropping it. You're not doing all that. Okay, so as a veteran, you're going to want to bid on everything that the VA releases that's of interest. And you really need to get to know them. This is where you network. This is where you want them to get to know you. FindContractsFaster.com. That's to book a call with my team. We have a variety of paid offerings if that's for you or not. You want to make sure that you bid on these opportunities, you get really good price quotes, and be prepared to manage from afar. That's another big piece of this, is you have to be prepared to manage from afar. When it comes to business, are people buying it? So take like really ethnic food. So there's this food guy I follow, and he's in England, and he just had, I think, Afghan food. And to me, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. He's in London, a major city, having diverse food. It makes sense. And especially if you have the population. Where here in Miami Beach, it is not really what the market desires. The market here wants burgers, fries, pizza. So you have to give what the market wants. So if the market doesn't want what you're offering, then you have to decide. Are you going to open an ethnic food restaurant just because? Or are you going to say, no, I'm going to open up a burger and fries place because that's what everybody wants. I want us all to be at this place of just beautiful grounding and this place of knowing. The government will reopen soon. If they go forward what they stated, USDA, FDA, Department of Veterans Affairs, some defense agencies, they will be fully funded. So you want to focus there. For those of you that are having trials and tribulations with ongoing work, you have to ask yourself, why? Why are you having the issue? Because the reason is not them. It's right here. How do I know? Because it happened to me. Anytime there was a situation with a contract, it had nothing to do with the president, the day, the month, The state government shut down, not shut down. I've been in this space since the Bush 2 administration. It was always me, never my team. It was always me. I'm the owner. When you are the owner and your name, if you want to win a contract before the end of the calendar year, ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to win? That's it. Like, as I'm on this fitness journey, I walk over 10,000 steps. There's certain foods I don't eat. Am I perfect? No. Nobody's asking for perfection. All it is what are you going to give up? So for me, okay, I'm not watching a bunch of stuff. I'm in a warm environment so I can walk. There are things I've done to prepare myself for this fitness show. So if you know, hey, my goal is to win a contract, boom, that's where your energy should go. Senate reached bipartisan deal to reopen government after a 40-day shutdown. So now the excuses are gone. So what's going to get you over the edge? What is that? Do you want to bid, learn, apply, adjust, execute? Keep in mind, you want to give everybody patience. Some people have been out of work for 40 days, and then now it's like you got to potentially go back to work on Monday. They're going to be like, what? I know people are going to be very excited to get paid. So this is a time of patience, a time of gratitude. So winnerswaybook.com, government will be reopened soon, which is great. And take this as a learning, especially those of you who are waiting for invoices. This is the time to hone in on your client relation skills. For those of you who want your first win, there's no reason you won't win. Don't forget that. winnerswaybook.com, findcontractsfaster.com, book a call with my team, findcontractsfaster.com. Everything is possible. Take care, you guys. Bye.